Hello everyone. This is my second video. I just wrapped up my first video. It's already up there, so you have probably seen my previous video. I'm going to continue a little bit more with my our one-third discussion, but I also want to start this video by responding to one of the comments, and there's a common theme there. I have had it from a few other people from the left who have posed similar questions and comments like this, and it's not really, it's antagonistic, but it's not that antagonistic. Plus, I issued the invitation. I said, please engage in constructive discussions, and whether you agree with me or disagree with me, if you disagree with me, if you think I'm wrong, make sure you come and put your point forth and let me know how and why I'm wrong. I don't think any of these comments have gotten to that part with why I'm wrong and being specific, but I need to read this and respond, because by responding to this, certain things will become maybe more clarified when it comes to what I have been talking about and my view on these issues. Okay, the grammar is a bit off here, so let me read it. It is from Roro Zoro, and this was posted and is up there on my YouTube channel. Sibel, I love your videos, but I don't like your left-right comparison. The progressives and socialist left is not the same as neoliberals. Neoliberals are right-wingers when it comes to economy. So get your analysis right. Come on now. Your analysis on US foreign policy and its imperialistic angle, but when it comes to domestic politics, your analysis is way off. The US ruling class is massively right-wing. The Democrats aren't left. An 18-year-old who follows politics knows that. You think Pelosi and Schumer are left-wingers. There's a lot of babbling here, but I mean, I really would like to seek some clarification on what this person is trying to say, and because I have had similar comments and things, I want to address it. First of all, if you're posting a comment like that, one of the first things you should do, give some examples. You're telling me who is not really the left, like Pelosi, Schumer, but you're not telling me who posted this comment is, in your view, a good, solid, true left. I never get that, because I have had similar comments and they never give examples of what they mean when they say true left. For example, is Bernie Sanders true left to you? Biden? Do you consider George Soros true left? Bill Gates true left? We don't have to go to those extremes. How about Amy Goodman? She is the host, she's the queen of the left, and a lot of people who consider themselves true left, they say she is their queen, she is their idol, she's the representative of the real left, not these fake left. Okay, if that's the case, Amy Goodman, Democracy Now!, for the past 20 plus years has been receiving every year $1.5 to $2 million from George Soros directly. He writes and signs that check. This is not my word. If you go, because it is registered as NGO, her radio channel, her platform, Amy Goodman, Democracy Now! So if you go and look at all the fundings they receive, which they have to publish, you will see that every single year, George Soros gives this lady, $1.5 million. So if you're saying people like George Soros, okay, and Rockefeller, because Rockefeller also gives her $500,000 a year. They're all giving her millions of dollars every year, millions of dollars to do what she's doing. So what the left tells me when they are engaged in some kind of a debate, they say, Soros and Bill Gates and Rockefellers, they are horrible. They are actually right-wingers. They are neoliberals. They have nothing to do with real liberals, real left. Then they say their queen, their representative of a true left is Amy Goodman. Now, I'm engaged in a discussion, in a debate with you. What happens when you're looking at your true representative of the left getting millions of dollars written unconditionally, they are saying, every year. Millions of dollars to the fake left, the bad guys, the neoliberals, Soros, etc. They're giving it to her. How can that make her the real left and different than them? Why would George Soros write $1.5 million a year for 20 plus years to the woman who is your true left? See, it doesn't add up, people. You have to be able to carry your end when it comes to a debate. Because when you say, those people are a-holes, they're horrible, they are not left, they're actually right-wingers posing as left and neoliberals, everything. Gates, Rockefeller, Soros, all of them, okay? You can't say that and then say these people are the real left, but these people are being fed by the a-holes you just said they are a-holes. There is some disconnect there. Are you with me here? Okay, there is some major disconnect. So let's do the argument right. So when you come here and say, Sibel, you're wrong, these are not true left, I had not even named people except Soros and Gates. And you agree that they are horrible, but they are not left, but you're saying the people who are true left, getting all their money and orders from the people you say they are horrible, evil, something is wrong with you guys, okay? Something is truly wrong there. That is not argument. That is not engaging in a constructive, logical debate. You have to, please come. I mean, my forum is open. Put the comment next time and make it clear what exactly you mean by real left. Who is the real left, in your opinion? And if I go and catch your real left, getting their millions of dollars every year written by non-real left that you are calling, you agree with me and say they are evil, then you have your realities totally wrong. It's like coming from some sort of a Gaga land. Now, another point this Zorro individual made had to do with, and I had that. I had a member of Newsbud community, paying subscriber, who I believe left my community no longer as a subscriber because he or she got pissed off with what I have been saying. Because, hey, when you say things, factual things, truth, whatever it is, you say something, some people are bound to hate you for it and disagree with you and hate you for what you're saying. Some people bound to love you. If you're saying something and all sides love you and they say you're right, then you're not saying anything. You are engaged in political election campaigns. That's what it is, When you say, oh yeah, you're good, Soros is good, Amy Goodman is good, CNN actually is pretty objective, NPR is good, Washington Times is good, Rush Limbaugh is great too. So you say this stuff and everybody's good and everybody's great. They can be better maybe if they try. Then I would go and run for political office if I'm going to engage in these discussions that somebody is not going to get pissed, because somebody always gets pissed if you are truthful and you are putting forth discussions and viewpoints, okay? Somebody's going to hate you for that and somebody's going to love you for that, okay? As simple as that. But this person decided he or she hates me, said, I'm canceling my subscription, monthly subscription to your website or whatever it was, annual subscription, because I want you to listen to this, because I don't know whether it's a compliment or it's just a pure hateful attack. I don't know. But this person was trying to appeal to my reason the following way. He or she said, Sibel, because you're so educated, you have all these degrees, and you're not really very white, like white, you're kind of yellow-brown, and you're female, and you have this status as a government whistleblower, as an author. It makes it very dangerous for all of us when you go out and say things like what you have been saying lately. Because there are people, out of respect and things, they're gonna actually take what you're saying to heart and listen to you, and that's a bad thing. you should go back and do geopolitical analysis, leave these domestic policies and issues and everything alone. Otherwise, you're going to be dangerous for us. I assume he or she meant dangerous for the left. Whoa, hold on a second here. Are you with me? You understand where I'm coming from? The left, or some people from the left, they consider me dangerous because I'm female, I am not extremely white, I have foreign background, I have been a government whistleblower, I have been active with civil liberties, I have compiled degrees from all the Ivy League universities, etc. Therefore, I am very dangerous to them coming out and saying things about how great the 1/3 is and that the 1/3 is our only hope and we can do this together. We can challenge these people engaged in a coup against us. Therefore, I'm very dangerous, and therefore, thus, I have to shut up, go back, be my usual international geopolitical analyst and talk about Syria, and talk about Turkey, and talk about the Caucasus, talk about Azerbaijan, talk about the East Med tensions in Eastern Mediterranean on this gas corridor that Israel has signed up. I have spent years talking about that. And you know what? Actually, I am taking it as a compliment. Thank you. Because that actually increases my conviction and resolves. Because number one, you're telling me to shut up and engage in self-censorship, okay? And that does the opposite. It encourages me to talk more. So you have done just the opposite of what you really want to see me doing. Number two, you're coming out and admitting that I am being dangerous to the left. Wow, I mean, that is a compliment. So I want to thank you. I can take encouragement in any way or any form, you know, and this is an encouragement. I'm not going to stop doing this. Currently, I have put a lot of the international analysis, my concentration on the Middle East, Central Asia, and Caucasus on hold. In fact, I hastily packed my stuff. I was there as an expat in Turkey for close to 2 years. I was planning to be there for another year. My daughter is learning several languages, etc. I packed and I came here. I came back to the United States because there is a coup. There is a coup in effect. The coup is not only designed to be against one party or one type of people. The coup is against the liberties. The coup is against the United States Constitution. The coup also has global aspects. And since the epicenter is in the United States of America, and since the USA is the only country in the world, and take it from me, who has been to 48, 49 countries, who has lived at least in 11 countries, who speaks 4 or 5 languages, when I tell you there is no other country in the world, whether it's in the EU or the Middle East or Africa or Southeast Asia or South America, that has numbers that even can come close to what we have here in the United States when it comes to the number, the size of people who are aware, value their constitutions, value liberties, and are ready, they are ready to fight for it. No other country has it. I didn't see one human being in Turkey, not one, criticizing or speaking up against mandatory vaccination or the lockdown that so far is entering its 7th week is finished, 8th week with 24/7 curfew with military police. You can't even get out of the door, okay, your door. Not one person raised their voice. They don't even have one. We have 20, 30, probably more than that, 30, 40 million people who have stood their grounds and they have said, no, we're not going to let you do that. So yes, this is the time. This is the war that has been declared on us, the people who are constitutionalists, who stand for civil liberties. I took an oath voluntarily to become the United States citizen. This oath, with my right hand up there, included my oath saying that I will protect, defend, stand up the Constitution, not the borders, not its apple pie, the Constitutions, the Constitution of this country against both foreign enemies and domestic enemies. Whether Al-Qaeda or ISIS, whether Bin Laden, the CIA's Bin Laden, or China, none of these countries can make a dent to our Constitution. They can't. I mean, it's different. I mean, somebody can bomb us. Sure, that's a threat. It's about life. They can threaten our lives, okay? Yes. They can threaten our economy. Sure. Okay, that's true. They can. But they can't really threaten our Constitution. It's not something that can be threatened by cannons and the planes and the tanks unless somebody's coming and actually invading and throwing out our Constitution. We have never been anywhere close to that. We are not even anywhere near that. But we have domestic cabals within this country in coordination with some other countries, because there are people in Germany, there are Dutch people, there is this cabal, this New World Order people who have put our liberties guaranteed under our Constitution, our entire Constitution, under this war. They have waged war against us, the people. And this is not a war that you gotta defend against or win by sitting on our butts and waiting for your Congress to come to your rescue. If you're sitting on your asses and thinking that those so-called representatives who represent anyone but you, the people, anyone but we, the people, who represents, because they get all their money, campaign donation, 99.9% of it comes from the cabal, the New World Order front that has launched this war against us. The representatives, majority of them, if not all, they're pocketed by that group. Been there like that, in that status, in that state for decades, okay? You know it, I know it. Right, people on the right know it, people on the left know it. This is like a known fact. Why do you think everybody says those crooked politicians, they're in the pockets of the lobbyists? Who's lobbyists? The lobbyists, how many lobbyists are out there who are the lobbyists of the people? Really? You know, the mom and pop shops? No. The lobbyists are the ones, currently the strongest ones are the technocrats. The big pharma, they have their lobby, okay? The big fat financial situation that screwed this country and its people, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, you just name all of them, they have their lobby, okay? And they are the ones who are pouring the money in there. Military-industrial complex does. There are lobbies, sure. None of them are the people's lobby. And none of those lobbyists, not one, comes from the side of the Constitution of the United States of America. In fact, the Constitution of the USA is and has been an obstacle to these lobbyists, okay? They're like, damn it, that is terrible. We want to do more and sell more gadgets to NSA to surveil people. We want to pump every American's. Forget about the 87 vaccinations that are required. We want the required vaccination list to include 152. For every flu, for every single type of a flu, for every single type of a diarrhea, we want to have vaccination. Because think about it. Let's say just in the US alone, 380 million people, okay? Every one of them gets vaccinated, and then you start multiplying that with the $20, $30, $100. That's money. But there is this obstacle in the way. It's called the United States Constitution, and it always gets in the way. Now, those representatives, they're not there to defend your constitutional rights, your liberties. It's not within their agenda. That's not why they ran for office to start with. Once upon a time, there used to be a group that were idealists. Really, they were genuinely. Then they got in there, right? And gradually they became crusty. You know, they turned into charlatans and the crooks. Then they became targets of blackmail. You know, maybe some of them chased some skirts outside their marriage. Maybe one of them did this, did that, whatever. But in the past 20, 30 years, we haven't even had those. The idealists getting in there and later getting corrupted. Okay, at least we had some duration there, a certain duration, where we got clean, good people with good intention who got elected. And we said, maybe we have a good solid 4 to 8 years before he becomes a crooked charlatan. We haven't had that. You know why? If you look at how much money you need to have to run for the United States Senate, okay? And compare it. 30 years ago, it took, I'm just going to throw the number, it's going to be within the proximity, okay, of this number, $250,000. Today, they are saying to run for the US Senate, you have to be way above $5-10 million, way above, okay? To raise that kind of money, you know, you have to side with the side that has the money and is willing to spend it and give it to start with, to even run. So that process right from the beginning is corrupted. You have already eliminated anybody with good intention who says, I'm not going to kiss the wrong people's asses and I'm not going to be pocketed. The moment you say it, you're eliminated because, dude, you have to spend $5 to $10 million on those campaigns. Hey, for a presidential campaign now it's in billions and billions of dollars. When you have such system for elections and the viable candidates, the viability translates into how many dirty, evil-doing technocrats and financial institutions and pharma people will be willing to support me so I can be pocketed by those people. That's the process. Now we can go ahead and sugarcoat it, okay? We can go ahead and sugarcoat it and say, Sibel, you're being so jaded or cynical, but I will invite you to challenge me and go ahead and list the names and titles from either party, Democrats or the Republicans, of real representatives, let's say in the past 20 years, let's say since 9/11, who you have seen and you can prove that has been representing the people, their constituents, really. I'm not talking about the pork and the barrels and everything that they get and they say, oh yeah, I can give this much to my state. And probably in the state is going to be pocketed, most of it, by some corrupt individual or individuals. Challenge me. I invite you. I walked the halls of Congress for 5, 6 years, almost on a daily basis. For constitutional purposes, it was on the First Amendment. It was about the illegal surveillance, NSA. It was about the government whistleblowers and their rights to inform the public about all the crooked things that they see happening, whether it's criminal, whether it's waste and fraud and abuse. I did that, and I'm telling you, based on my firsthand experience, I didn't come across anybody like that. Please send me their names and numbers. I would love to go and meet them. I would send them a thank you note and say thank you for being a real representative of this country. Now, with that said, and I don't know how in the world I got here responding to these things, 1/3, we don't have representatives in Congress. We don't have true, real representatives. But I see that we have some in certain states. There are some decent people, local representatives. It's boiling down now to this, at this point, at this junction, they're unleashing all these riots. And the measures now they're going to put us through because of the riots, you see. There was COVID and lockdown. Now my friend, a good friend of mine, Robert, hi Robert, he is somewhere in Minneapolis and he is locked down because of, they said, this district, this neighborhood, this suburbia, this county, these are all under lockdown because of the riots. And I'm sure it's happening some places in Kentucky as well. So there's more lockdown. Wow. This is escalating. They are connected. They are not disconnected. This was not based on one incident, causing and bringing this chain of reactions. No, that is not. All you have to do is tune into the mainstream media and you will right away know that, no, this is by design. See how they are reporting it and see what they are not reporting. And that would make it very clear. It's a war, it's a coup. And in my previous video, I brought up our veterans, I brought up our members of armed forces, currently who are members, their family members. We are here to stand up for, to defend our Constitution, the United States Constitution, against any enemies, all enemies that threatens this Constitution. Currently, we have domestic enemies who have waged war, outwardly war, a coup against our Constitution. We are 1/3 of this country. We are strong. We do have you. We do have the veterans. This is the time. This is the time to engage in action. Don't go there, play dead, and say, it's going to happen, there is nothing I can do. There are so many websites, there are these video makers, bloggers, who are sitting in their mom's basement and they want to scare you further by saying, Bill Gates, he's the evil, he's going to microchip you. Yeah, we all know that. But the way they are doing it, and a lot of these people are plants. Either they are ignorant because they don't have the experience and the knowledge and the force, okay? Or they are plants. Because the way they are putting out these videos, yeah, they are evil. It's always been about the forces of evil versus the forces of good. But the way they put out these videos, the way they talk, they want you to be afraid and panic. It is so, they want you to be scared. They have this scared, scary tone. They're going to do it to us. They're going to microchip. Turn them off. Turn them off. You see all the stuff you see. Don't underestimate. Please don't underestimate what we've got, okay? The 1/3. Don't underestimate our veterans. Okay, man, I am going to have this network filled with them. I had it with my government whistleblowers for national security, and I will have it again because that's the winning side. There it is. That is the winning side. And these people who have taken the oath to defend the Constitution, these people who have been trained to go and counter the enemies, these people who know how psychological warfares are planned, designed, and waged against people overseas. That's how it used to be. Now it's back here. All those stuff, those weapons have turned against us, the people. And we need you. We need you. This nation needs you. Our Constitution needs you. You're with us. We are the winning party here. We are not the political party. Please, please don't misrepresent what I'm saying. We are the winning segment. We are the winning faction. We are the 1/3. We are the 1/3, okay? Without these people, members of the armed forces, the veterans, the many, many good law enforcement people who have common sense. There are many, many good sheriffs out there. How scared do you think they will be? People like, let's say, Bill Gates or Soros or their headquarters or their larvae, you know? They're like snakes usually. You go and cut one segments of them, they grow another one, they shed it, and they actually go and lay larvae. They create these little NGOs and the think tanks and everything. They spread their tentacles, you know, through the mainstream media, their larvae through the alternative media, and alternative under the guise of being alternative. These people are cowards. These people actually are cowards. They wage their wars in the most shrewd way. They are the kinds of people we would consider, in like layman terms, we would be calling them the backstabbers. They are sneaky, yeah. They're smart, yes. They are wise, yes. They are very, very rich, yes. They are the king of technocracy currently, yes. And a lot of things can be destroyed by a push of a button, yes. But whether them or that 115 faction that I told you who are hiding under their blankets in their San Francisco condos, or in Upper Manhattan, or even here in Florida, probably they're in Boca Raton. There are a lot of them. That's why I didn't go to East Coast Florida. Okay, they're hiding. They're cowards. They're not fighters. We are. We have comparative and absolute advantage. Now, I have had several of my listeners, viewers, and I'm thankful that you actually, it's a compliment that valued it enough to say, suggesting it or asking me or urging me to do that. You said, Sibel, can you please have a nationally syndicated radio program, talk show, so that we can get more people join us, join this network and listen to this, tune in, and maybe we can wake up some people. I love the idea. I have no idea how one goes about establishing a radio podcast channel that is syndicated nationally, with a caveat, okay? Without having to declare some sort of allegiance and to some party or some billionaire up there, or basically signing away all your rights. What allows me to talk like this freely is because I'm independent. Guess what? Who's paying for this? It's you, we the people, okay? Individuals who are contributing $5, $10, whatever dollars there. I have seen some of your names, some of you sign up and it's only a screen name. I don't know exactly where you are. For some of you, I do. I'm not noisy like that. I'm not like NSA, want to know what your zip code is and who is your mama and dada. No, I don't. I respect your privacy, and that's how it is with Patreon. All I get is sometimes a screen name or somebody's actual name and last name without any other information from that person. So, and any of you can cancel what you have in Patreon and say, I'm not going to give you that $1 per month. And I will say, sorry, you didn't like it, but okay, that's $1 goes. It doesn't work that way when, let's say, Amy Goodman of Democracy Now! Is accustomed to getting millions of dollars from Rockefellers and George Soros. Now, when they give you these millions of dollars and they have these 1 or 2 or 3 funders, those big chunky ones, do you think they have the freedom to say what they want and the independence? They have sugar daddies. They have to please their sugar daddies. Very simple. Very, very simple. So whatever script it is in front of them is written by the sugar daddies. George Soros approved. Boom, there is a stamp of approval. And just tune in and see right now, this war, this coup, see how much fuel people like her are putting in that fire with the riots. They want us eating each other. Dog eats dog. That's exactly what they want. They want Hispanics and the blacks at each other's throat. They wanted to have this big tension and hatred between the whites and the blacks. They want it at every level, whether it's in the religious level, whether it's in the ethnicity, whether it's the race. The more we hate each other, the more we clash, the merrier for them, because it makes it so easy to conquer and say, let's nullify the entire Constitution. They have been floating the idea of the Second Amendment totally has to be nullified. Totally, we need to get rid of it for years now, several years. With every event, they are bringing it up again, okay? So is for the First Amendment. When you go through the airports with the TSA agents funneling you, sticking their fingers into your butt and all the stuff that is happening, that's illegal search and seizure. They don't have any probable cause. You are not a suspect terrorist, but you and I, every single American, every time we fly, we are treated as suspect terrorists or a terrorist without any warrant, without any justification, and we have gotten used to it. I haven't. I hate it every single day, and I have opened my mouth every single time trying to challenge it. Okay? That's an assault on Constitution, our liberties, our rights. That's illegal search and seizure. Very simple. The notions of probable cause has been thrown out a long time ago. So let's not sit and wait for some congressman or a congresswoman or somebody with a spine or somebody who has just recently grown spine in the Supreme Court. That's not going to happen. That's one of the things I would like to see. Some kind of a very slam dunk successful method of transplanting spine for all these shameless politicians in the Congress, these people in the Supreme Court. They don't have spine, they don't have shame, they don't have any allegiance to the United States Constitution. They are sold out. They are totally sold out. So it's up to us. Now, nationally syndicated radio, I don't know how to go about it. If you do know, without me having to go and sell my soul and say, I'm going to kiss your butt every time I talk on this show, and I'm going to tell people to go and vote for John Doe because you want me to tell them to go and vote for John Doe, and lo and behold, there will be some people who would actually take my word and go and vote. I don't do that. I've never asked anybody to vote for anybody. I've never asked anybody to go and invest in some Ripple or some whatever coin. I don't do that. I don't tell people to buy things. I don't tell people to sell things. I don't tell people to vote for this person against that person. I don't do that. Let me know the best independent way to go about this. I would love to do that. I would love to connect with more of you. I would love to connect and bring under the same network at Patreon, at Newsbud, anywhere, this syndicated radio, more veterans. I have a very soft spot for veterans. I have it. I have had it because I have worked with so many of them. I have worked with them in defending the Constitution, and I know they are the doers. You know, I know they're going to say Sex is the movie A Few Good Men. When I say 1/3, forget it. Just a few good men. Those people, we are the winners. Yes, we will be. I believe it. I have that conviction. Once upon a time, I was naive. I had my public policy master's degree, and I thought, okay, everything in theory was working that way in Congress and everything. It took a lot and horrible experiences, first-hand experiences, to open up my eyes and say, holy moly, what they're doing there has nothing to do with what they are teaching us in this academia. They are just painting these rosy pictures and blinding us. I no longer am that person. I still have a lot to learn. There is so much more to experience. Trust me, there is. I'm not saying I know it all, but I know enough. I know enough to tell you here that we have the winning ingredients. We, the 1/3, can easily win. Not like always, easily win. They know it too. They don't want us to see it this way, you see? That's why they're floating those garbage YouTube channels telling you, be afraid. Bill Gates is going to screw you. George Soros is going to screw you. They're going to kill the president you elected, and they're going to do this during the election. Don't get panicked. Don't lose self-confidence. Chin up, okay? Chin up. I have fallen so many times in front of the Supreme Court with what they did to me, or in Congress. Every time, I just remember my father said, get up, get up. Don't remain on your knees. And with you guys, with all of you, don't go pretend we are dead and say, go over us, you know, run over us. No, they're not going to run over us. We are the 1/3. With all that said, let's hear about this nationally syndicated radio. I don't know anything about this industry. I don't know anything about the technological part of it, aspects of it. I want to hear about that more from you, those of you who know how to do it. Also, meanwhile, as we are looking for bigger channels, okay, bigger platforms somehow, as we are expanding our network, you make this discussion, us, the 1/3, slowly gathering in one place, possible through your donations, through your recurring donations at Patreon or at Newsbud. The Patreon site, it takes only 10-15 seconds. If you can, if you really truly can, don't put yourself through hardship. If you wish to see this continue, okay, if you're with me on this and you can, please don't put it off. Go visit, I have the link there, in the description box at YouTube, and see if you can throw a penny there, or $1 a month, or $10, $5, whatever it is you can, whatever it is you see fit. And this way we can further this discussion and expand this. Babbling is easy. Putting things in action is the difficult part. And there are too many babblers out there. I want us to go beyond that, especially during this critical time. We don't have that long-term time to plan and establish this platform and in 5 years get there. Those we should do. That's on the side. We should do. I agree with that. Like libertarians, Ron Paul, oh, we are thinking of the generation 20, 30 years from now. But then here's the economist that I don't like. That's John Maynard Keynes, Keynesian economist. He's the one who came with the whole model. And when they asked, they said, well, if we do this after the Great Depression, we're going to incur so much debt and this, and in long term, how are we going to do this? And this is right at the end of Depression, the Depression era. He said, right now, we have to think about the critical, this moment. People are dying from starvation. We have to concentrate under this threat, during this crisis, on short term, because guess what? In long term, we all will be dead. So let Ron Paul and those stuff do the 20, 30 years from now. Right now, things are happening. The war has been declared. There is a coup in process, is in effect. These riots are part of it. Soon it's going to be our neighborhoods. I'm not saying it to put the scare factor, fear factor. We don't have the luxury. We don't have the luxury to give birth to, raise, train, and put in place real good representatives in Congress so that we are served 25 years from now. We don't have 25 years. We don't even have 25 weeks. We don't have it. Things are unfolding as we speak, as we record. So let's do this, people. I thank you very much for every single one of you at Newsbud, at my Patreon network, Common Sense Network, making this video series possible with your donations. I'll see you soon. There will be more. I put a bunch of notes. I'm gonna one by one hopefully get to discuss these issues, and meanwhile, let's organize. See you soon. This is Sibel Edmonds reporting, talking with you, engaging in this discussion from Florida.